the update of the North Elementary School renovation.
Moving on, for education, with us we have Mr. Ron Corba to present the update information on the Larde Elementary School.
Just a quick update of the progress of the Larde renovation. Last week we had a meeting with PSFA staff. And what we're doing now is we set up a meeting, an on-site visit for October 13th at Larde at 10 a.m. We're going to do a walkthrough of the whole facility and just make sure that we're still on the same page and the design is still where we're at. The next step also is we need to submit a summary from the district for the intent of the project again. So we need to restart that. Bond availability, which we do have, and the full amount. The needs, we also need to submit any needs that have changed in the Larde. The class grade enrollment, the configurations, all of that we need to submit to PSFA. The funds are available. The funds are available for this project starting in spring of 18. The time frame of moving forward with this project is that. The project schedule, we do need to hire a project manager, and then we need to do the GIS coding by the 13th. So that's where we're at as of this point from our last meeting to today.
By the 13th
of October. And then from there, once we get all of that, November 10th is the meeting at the PSCOC. So then from there we'll be placed on, hopefully we'll be placed on the agenda to present the summary, the class configuration, the needs, and the GSI code.
Board members, you guys have any questions for Mr. Cordova or Mr. Martinez and Smile? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cordova.
District reports under board president report. I don't have anything to report at this time. Board members, do you have anything that you would like to add to report? Thank you. We'll move on to superintendent's report, legislative update, and synergy update.
President Hahn, Board of Education. At this time, we'd like to receive a legislative update from Mr. Joe Torres, who is working for the district on behalf of the district at the legislature. Mr. Torres.
Good evening, Superintendent Martinez, President Lujan, board members. Hope everybody's had a great day. Everybody seems to be happy today. Wanted to come up and give a little bit of information on what's been going on in the special legislative session. We know now that there are going to be disputes to carry over money in the districts. That's a done deal. We, at this point, aren't sure because things seem to be changing on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, the House is still in now. So we'll see what the House finishes and passes today, and the Senate goes in tomorrow. But there will be sweeps to school districts and carryover money. There's two scenarios that have been talked about right now. Española Public Schools is showing the last Monday's Public Education Department was $377,454 in this carryover money that Española School District has. They initially were supposed to go by a Part A formula, which would cost the district about $10,000. Then they switched the superintendents and the largest school districts in the state came together with their delegations, and they looked at a Part B formula, which was on the latest Senate bill. Part B is going to cost the district $294,000. So there's a big, big jump. Now we don't know what's going to happen yet because the Senate goes back tomorrow and the House has done some stuff today, and some things may have changed. But those are the two formulas that we're looking at. We immediately talked to the superintendent on Friday, late Friday night when this happened, to let him know exactly what's going on, and those are the two scenarios right now. So either way, there are gonna be sweeps in that school district, and it's carryover money. Money from last year that will be carried over this year, I think it's what we wanted to understand. But there's two formulas, and part B negatively affects the district a lot more than part A does. Now, we don't know yet what's gonna happen, we still go back tomorrow. I just wanted to give kind of an update on what was going on, and, let everybody know where we're standing. If you guys have questions that I can answer, I'll answer my best ability to kind of know exactly what's going on.
Board members, you guys have questions for, Mr. Torres? I do have a couple of questions. So basically, what this is saying is when you're fiscal responsible as a district and there's tight, you basically could lose your money. I mean, basically, it's almost like we should speak spending money instead of holding on and being conservative with it. I mean,
I think it is attacking all sorts of districts that are fiscally responsible and want to have some reserves, yeah, I definitely do. I also think that, you guys probably know the difference between the part A and part B and the A schools and the B schools. I think it's also kind of an attack on B schools. Every school district in northern New Mexico will be affected big time, except for Mesa Vista. And it's because it's based on members, they call them members, but really what it is population, and the way the formula works. So, I think you're 100% accurate. I think school districts that watch their pennies were fiscally responsible, kept some cash reserves for an emergency like we all try to do, make it effective, because when the sweeps come, they're gonna see what's left. Like I said, the balance was 377, 454, was the carryover of the state show.
so what's being presented by this house? Because we hear that from the house, it's more of a part A type of bill that they're trying to pass. Is that
The House
correct?
and originally the Senate both wanted part A. Now, they're still in, and it's Eric Martinez is also with us, with Connect Us, he's, with Connect Us, you don't get one of these, you get two of them, and a bunch of other people helping in between. But Eric was there, Eric got to share the last, section of the houses, and they're still in.
And, Mr. President, members of the board, yeah, they're running multiple scenarios parallel right now, and they're gonna be working probably related to the right, and we're figuring things out first in the morning, on how they're gonna sweep, if they do sweep, and what the amount's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of questions answered tomorrow when the Senate, reconvenes.
We have gotten notification from all of our northern allocation that they're going to do everything in their powers to make sure that we fight as hard as we possibly can for the schools, all the schools in northern New Mexico. Now, we also have to realize that this is something that's done in caucus. Before the special session meeting, it was called to by the governor, the two caucuses, Republican and Democratic caucuses, try to agree on everything before they come so they don't waste the people's time, money, and so they're going to be fighting as much as they can, and we will be as well.
Mr. President,
No, Mr. President.
if I may ask some questions, first one, when will we know for sure? Do you have an idea so we can prepare?
Well, Senate goes back in tomorrow. They'll have, by tonight, we'll have revised passed bill from the House to kind of look in and see if anything was changed. And then it goes into the Senate. We're anticipating, we're talking to Senator Martinez and talking to a couple of Senate members, that they should be wrapped up by tomorrow evening. Now, that may be 9, or that may be 2. It just depends on how involved they get. But I'm anticipating that probably by this weekend, we should have a clear understanding of what direction the sweeps are going.
And then when they sweep that money, do we get it back, or is that? And I guess another question to follow up on that, is there any kind of action that's going to be required of us, Mr. Martinez, Superintendent? Or they just?
President Han, Board Member Fresquez, there's no action on our part. They basically call it a sweep because it is a sweep, and the money's, I mean, it was there, and it's no longer there.
Just gone.
And of course, we all know the reason for this. We're in such a deficit now, and we're looking at next year being double that deficit. I think last year we were about 550 million in for fiscal year 17. So, any money you got now, spend it. Spend anything that you have now for next year. I mean, try not to leave anything in there because
it'll go away, right?
it could.
I mean, it could.
It could quite possibly go away. We also had a discussion with Superintendent Martinez we believe as a company, we're a company that's in business, and we believe in ROI and return on investment as well. And we had a discussion with the superintendent, and we've also put out to the board that if there is no capital outlay available, or no way to do a relocation bill because they can't be funded, we are not going to charge the school district a contract. We don't believe that's right. We're going to have these kids and carry us through on something we can't provide. It's return on investment for us. And we mentioned some people, we mentioned other people who also want to make sure we mentioned to you guys. If we can't provide something for what we're getting paid, then we're not going to take money out of the school district, not out of these kids. So we just want to also let you know that. So if for some reason there is no money available, we'll cover you guys pro bono just to make sure that nothing else happens. We can stop hemorrhaging any way we can. But we believe that we are able to provide something for our day.
Mr. President, Mr. Gilbert, Mr. Martinez, just want to mention for that, thank you. You know, that's huge for us because obviously we have some wants and needs, and you know, we have some things we wanted to get done, but if we can't, appreciate the effort on your part and you know, your commitment to the district and putting students first.
Our commitment is always to this district. More important, our commitment is truthful in every way possible. And if we can't get it done, we're not going to sugarcoat something. We're going to come out and tell you, hey, it can't happen. We're not going to get, you know, we're not going to take any kind of thing from not being able to provide anything.
But just know you guys do have a voice there, fighting for you no matter what.
Either way, we're going to our other clients, we're going to try to help the school district. We believe in these kids. We believe in what these kids have done. And we see it every day. We see remarkable kids coming out of this district. We need to meet a lot of them in the Senate, legislature, and they're great kids. And we just look forward to providing investors in.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Does anybody have additional questions? Thank you, and I guess maybe next board meeting.
Yeah,
we'll come back and present it.
Yeah, by then, we'll have a clear, you know, which direction the sweeps are going and probably more information on any kind of capital outlay or anything else might be going on. One thing fortunate for us is the election year. So sometimes we'd like to leave a little bit on the table for the election years. We'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lieutenant,
Mr. President, this question, I guess, more for you, Mr. Martinez, Superintendent. Do you have a plan in place already for the impact this will have on us? Or,
President Hahn,
I know we talked about a little bit on Monday night.
program invest is, it seems to be the opposite. We feel the impact and then we make our adjustments to ensure that we have enough money available to move forward the fiscal year. That would be our priority. So in essence, we're going to look and await what the amount that we're going to lose. And then we'll immediately act on it and ensure that we're able to meet the needs of the students, the teachers, and the school community.
So I guess if there's action taken and we know in the future, I guess it'd be wise to call a work session next week once we know what the state plans to do with this week, so we can start planning for it and make sure we take care of the needs we have.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
thank you. Board members, do you have any questions or sorry? With the synergy update.
President Hahn, Board of Education, on the agenda, synergy update before I turn it loose to Ms. Myra Martinez to provide that report. Some of the things that our staff is really moving forward diligently to ensure that we are able to submit our 40th day report. It's no secret we got a new database. It's no secret that we've struggled to get things in order. And so with that in mind, what I want to drive Ms. Martinez's communication, are we going to be prepared for the 40th day reports? Our student attendance, is it taken throughout the district? Are we able to open a parent portal that is so significant to parents that have the technology? They can look in and check their child's grades any day of the week, any time, and request support or meetings or whatever needs to happen on that. And in addition to the grading period, the grading reports, so that we can stay on top of the academic program to ensure that when students are struggling, we meet the need to put an after-school program, whatever it takes to ensure that they succeed, and track attendance. Those are significant things that we do at the database. place. The attendance is significant because if kids are in school, we can educate them. If they're not in school, we need to be able to assist them in getting back into school. So Ms. Martinez, if you'll join us and shed light on to those particular issues, then in addition to all the other issues that are going to be tied up with synergy as far as the board reporting, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Good evening, board members. Board President Lujan, Superintendent Martinez, board members. I did present a district department overview report that is part of your board book packet. And basically what this did is we took the snapshot for all 40th day reporting, what's required at 40th day, and I asked each responsible department to report out on the percentage of completion of where we're at, the status update with regard to reporting. Some of our biggest obstacles with the Synergy system were data conversion. And so it was a huge task to, one, clean up our data in our previous system, which was the PAS system, and then two, to convert it over. And so during the conversion, data rolled over. It didn't all roll over cleanly. And learning the new system and where that data imported was a bit of a task that took us some time to go in and clean it up, because when you transfer from one system to the other, unless they're identical systems, it's going to have some data cleanup that we need to do. So for the last week and a half, we've been bringing office managers and principals in to clean up that data. Our first task was to clean up our bilingual data in preparation for our 20th day reporting. So that's even prior to 40th day. We have to submit plans with regard to that. And so data was cleaned up last week, and we submitted, at this point, we submitted all of our bilingual reports with the exception of one school that we're still cleaning up. Other than that, today we worked on cleaning up programs. And so if you look through that report, I'll give you just a brief synopsis, and if you have questions, I can elaborate further. Mr. Andrew Trujillo and Brandon Rendon worked on just a brief project outline, kind of outlining the timeline, what we've done, what we did to prepare for this, and now what we've been doing leading up to the 40th day reporting. With regard to instructional programs in my department, mainly bilingual, Title III, everything related to our English language learners, we have cleaned that up. Today they entered programs into the reporting feature regarding student needs. And so by tomorrow morning, we can run the error report and see where we're at with regard to errors. All programming regarding the bilingual program was entered by office managers today, as well as New Mexico pre-K, Title I programs, all our federal programs. That data was entered today. With regard to our special education department, they've kind of been leading us at the forefront. It's a huge department. There's a lot of student data in there that we need to capture. There's a lot of funding tied to this particular group of students. And at this point, they're estimating they're at about 60% completion with regard to the snapshot. And that's all the reportable events for students. There were some data transfer glitches, and this department has had the most glitches. Most data coming in and most glitches. They're working closely with our Synergy tech support as well as our technology department to get that data updated. We've kind of camped out at the technology department and the special ed department, just all of us working together on this, and we'll continue to read through those error reports to make sure we're clean for the October 12th 40th day reporting. With regard to human resources and all our staff reporting, the Human Resource Department has also had to do a lot of data entry and data cleanup in the new system. So right now they've gone in and they've cleaned up nearly 100%, right, about a 99% completion rate when they ran their error reports. They have some errors. They have, with the error report, it tells us within the system where we have to go in and fix the errors. So now it's just a matter of going in and doing the second round of cleanup in preparation for 40th day. So we're in a much better place now than when we were at the last 2 weeks when I came up and reported. So we're at the point now where we've gone in and done our first round of cleanup, and we're cleaning up the errors that still remain.
So I'm going to interrupt us a little bit. How much longer will it take to clean up the errors? That's my question. I mean,
It
because,
just depends on the errors. I was just looking now, reviewing the staff error report, and it's the same error on each staff member. So it's just a matter of going in and correcting the field and hopefully resubmitting that report so we don't get that corrected. So it's just learning that new system and knowing where the data gets pulled from and how it gets recorded. Sometimes it's just a matter of going in and reprogramming where the data is getting pulled from. So hopefully, where it's all that same error, that's what it is. When it's individual, case by case, it might be a license number or something else that needs to be fixed.
okay,
It just depends, it's a case by case.
so it's not the same for all, is what you're saying?
In some instances, like there was one example where it was the same repeated error on all, so it's probably more of a programming fix that we need to tweak.
And what's the time frame when we have to have this complete?
October 12th, if you look at page 140 of the reporting, and we'll submit on October 12th, and then there's a window from there. They still allow you a window to resubmit your errors.
And what's the cause of the bad data? Was it the old system, the conversion?
It's more the conversion is what it is. It's not necessarily that it was bad data. We did a lot of data cleanup in POP prior to exporting the data. It's just how the data imported. So it's sometimes there's less fields or different fields or additional fields that need to go and fill out for it to calculate out some of those
And
fields.
along the lines of the contractor turn this on, that's managing this project, are they helping, are they holding up their end of the bargain?
They are. Help could be a lot quicker and more frequent. I think there's a small team. Brandy is doing an excellent job of fielding those work orders and getting responses from the tech team. I think initially they weren't understanding quite how much data conversion glitches we were having until we just kind of all got on a conference call with them and said, you need to log into our screens to see what we're seeing. And then it kind of got the ball moving after our last board meeting.
And,
So it's been rolling a lot faster now.
and if there's anything that Mr. Martinez can do to help along the way and
He
lighting
definitely,
a fire under them, I know they go sometimes, just to make sure that we meet that deadline, because that's such an important part of what we do here at public schools, is that 40th day is so crucial for our funding.
that's well understood, Board Member Lujan. Mr. Martinez has made several phone calls and he's advocated for us on our behalf, and he's quite effective at lighting that fire underneath and
So he has a fire?
explaining that, just that need, the severity of that need, and us needing that support to make sure that we're clean for 40th day reporting. And with any 40th day reporting, even in years past, we submit to test and we have error reports. So it's not that we're gonna be error-free on October 12th. Every year for 40, 80, 120, we have errors that we correct. We just don't wanna be at the point we were at 2 weeks ago, and we're much cleaner now. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you. I don't have any questions. Board members, do you have any questions for Mr. Martinez?
Thank you.
Thank you. Principal's report. Board members, do you have any questions for the principal? No. Thank you. We'll move on. Consent items. Mr. Martinez, what's your recommendation?
President Hahn, Board of Education recommend approval of consent items as presented.
Thank you. We've heard the recommendation of the superintendent to approve action items 1 through 7, action items, consent items 1 through 7. Do I have a motion?
I will move.
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Prescott, seconds. Any can do roll call vote?
Yes. Mr. Ruben Archuleta?
No.
Ms. Yolanda M. Salazar?
No.
Ms. Annabelle Amaguet?
Yes.
Mr. Lucas Vesquez?
Yes.
And Mr. Pablo Luma?
Yes. Thank you. Other action items, A, approval of revised scope of work for harmonics, which is the recommendation.
President Hahn, Board of Education, I recommend that we change the scope of work for harmonics this 16-17 school year to reflect the phone switch from the cameras to the phone systems, and then phase in the other two projects next fiscal year.
We've heard the recommendation of the superintendent after discussion. Is there any additional discussion, board members? We've heard the recommendation of the superintendent, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Mr. Fresco's motion, do I have a second?
I will second.
Salvador seconds. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Mr. Martinez, what's the recommendation approval of athletic football field / track project?
President Hahn, Board of Education. I have, prior to giving the recommendation of the football field track project, we had a work session on Monday, we discussed the finances. I've asked that Ms. Myrna Garcia present the board the final numbers so that we can make a decision in the best interest of the board, the children, and the school community. I believe that we're in a good place as far as funding, but I'd like her to give you the final numbers so that you can make a good decision based on what we have available. And Ms. Garcia will do that with us shortly, if it's not too much trouble.
Thank you. We'll,
Can we discuss it?
sure, yeah. Before we,
And I even want this on the record, everything I say, okay, please? What I say, I don't want on the record. The coach, and first of all, I don't have nothing against the football field or track. I just want to be fiscally responsible for making this decision. The quote here has nothing to do with the football field or track, it's bleachers and press box, and we haven't discussed bleachers and press box. We had a work session on Monday, we had a work session last Thursday, and no bleachers or press box was ever talked about. I think that to me is, I don't know if it's borderline illegal, but that's misleading the public.
Can you explain that to us, please? Or let's see that.
what, is that your question, Mr. Martin? Patricia?
Yes.
Like, you know what I have? I hope I have you. You know what I would have to differ with that? I don't know if I have it here. The Lone Mountain presented 3 different quotes to this board. And they also included bleachers, they included lights, they included other possibilities that we could have done to the field. And I think you were here for that same, I don't have it, I was looking over my packet, but it was with the packet, where they did talk about the bleachers, they did talk about, again, lighting, with the multiple options. The original, the quote that they gave us, I think was $2.475 million. And if you look at the quote, it does talk about bleachers. It says new bleachers and press box. So I think what we've done is we've looked at different options that we have besides going with one entity for the whole project.
And what date was that, was that last week's meeting?
That was the last week's meeting, and was discussed, the Thursday before that we had the second work session where they came and presented about the project.
And then
But they gave us all that whole package together, which is discussed it. I have one of the quotes, but I don't have all the quotes.
And we discussed it on Monday thoroughly as well too. We went over and over, and when we speak about fiscal responsibility, you know, we have been fiscally responsible. In fact, it's going to cost us $300,000 because we're so fiscally responsible. So, you know, if this is a need that we have, you know, obviously the students came out because, you know, this is.
Is it a need or is it a want?
No, it's a need.
So a need is classroom materials, books,
It's a need to our students.
student centers, tutoring center, you know, let's build tutoring centers. I think as a board, we have our priorities. Our priorities are where they should be, our priorities should be in the classroom. We spent $110,000 a couple of months ago on the same company, and now this quote is from August 17th. Before we even talk about bleacher or anything, was this back-end deal or? Because it's August 17th, we talked about bleachers last week. And this is the same company that we paid $110,000 chairs and tables that our maintenance people were putting together 2 Fridays ago.
you know, our maintenance people were putting together those chairs at the high school on Friday. Why are we paying this company to put chairs together, but we're paying our employees money to put them together?
President Hahn, Board of Education, I'll take both questions one at a time. I'll take the chairs and the tables, that were ordered for, $100,000+ when you order those things, you either pay to have them put together, or you choose to put them together yourself. We elect to put them together ourselves and save the expense.
No, there was paid.
Oh, was it paid? Okay, I'll look into that. I'll look into that. I can't justify that, but I will look into that. Okay. President Hahn, Board Member Archuleta, Mr. Cordova, can you come up and explain what they were doing? There's a communication from Board Member Archuleta that we paid the company to put the chairs and tables together. This is his question, yet we went and put them together. So is that what's been going on at the high school, sir?
President Hahn, board members, Superintendent Martinez. Well, the company went in and they assembled them. What happened, what we did, and we're talking about the outdoor furniture at the high school, correct? Okay, so the company went in, they assembled it, and they put it outside. But what we did was we went out and we laid it out the way we felt that it would be beneficial for the area that we had renovated. So we're the maintenance went out and anchored them. We anchored them to the concrete. But we didn't assemble.
I have pictures of them assembling them, and I have complaints from co-workers. We had one that quit one day because that's what he told me. That's one of the reasons they said they do practices or not. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I was told.
Well, I was out there when that company was out there assembling. I say there was a couple that needed to be modified for the area that we were putting them in. But as far as
They were there for 2.5 days though. Our maintenance people were there for 2.5 days.
and this was whether we what dates are you saying?
This, so Mr. Archuleta, you know what, you bring a good point in the word we're told on something, we're talking about I'm talking, don't trust this company, because look what we're doing, we're spending money. We're not, I mean, you know, talk to Mr. Martinez, why don't you bring Mr. Martinez? I don't get emails returned. We're talking about a football field / grant project, that's what we're talking about.
And it's the same company.
That's a project,
We're talking about the
that's what we're talking about. We're talking about.
company
so
who
that's
is
what I'm actually talking
employing
about.
a specific,
That's also the recommendation that's coming down on the project. We're talking about the project, not the individual company.
I think it's important that we stick to
What's
on the agenda.
Which is to move forward.
Yeah, and this project, and you know, this project is about the students, and there's a bunch of students here that would use the field. Well, what's your thoughts? Would you guys like any field? Yeah. The field is there a need for
it's
a
about
field?
time, right?
So we call this back to order. We'll talk at once. If any people from the audience who want to speak on behalf of the project, we'll allow a handful of people to speak on behalf of the project. One, and two, we're talking about the issue of Go ahead, please state your name for the record.
Sound Garden.
Go ahead.
You know, for years, we have like this track and field that's just like walking on concrete. I mean, it's worse than playing on turf. You know, turf, they say it's hard, but you don't get much harder than our field. You know, you walk on our track and it's cracked, and you know, if people did come to the games, they're fit about maybe 200. You know, our bleachers are, I don't even know when those things were last built, but you know, there is a need for looks and all this stuff, but there's a need for our ones too. You know what I mean? It's not, we shouldn't get the bottom end of the stick or the short end of the stick. You know, we work hard, the cross-country team, the track team, the football team. I mean, we work our butts off. And you know, we deserve to get some nice stuff. You know, we're right next to the Pepsi Center, basketball gym, a giant stadium, one of the biggest in high school in the state. You know, we deserve to have a good, nice field and some bleachers. And it's just, you know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have your showers been fixed? I've been fighting for those for a long time, the showers, and getting the lockers fixed and having stalls for you guys so you don't have to share.
For middle school, and
For the
I've been
high
going to
school.
the high school.
Yeah,
For football games as a
showers.
JV player, or again, a middle school player. And it's been the same Curry locker room for about 6 years now. I
Yeah,
think.
that's what I thought.
And we're
But,
working it,
you know,
getting
but
everything
but
fixed.
again,
We're
when
working
we're-
it, getting everything fixed for
And I
facilities,
remember-
not just the fields.
And you know, even when Medina was here, he really cared for our locker room and
He did.
he really tried to fight for our, I mean, our showers, I don't think have worked in
Yes.
as long as I've been in high school.
He had me taking pictures.
There's only one sink that works. You know what I mean? We don't even have stalls on our toilet doors.
I worry about the infections that go on in those places. That's what
Our locker room is like chain link.
Absolutely.
No, you know, those are great points. Again, we're going out, you know what, we've been aware of them. We've seen them, but again, it goes back to how the state gives us this district money in order to renovate and build a new high school.
I understand, sir.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for stepping up and speaking out.
Hi, my name is Tim Salazar, and I think the track needs to be fixed too, and everything, the football field and the track. Because if you go out there and walk on the track, you're gonna see a bunch of cracks in the track that people could trip over, get hurt, and what would that put more money on the school for paying their medical bills and stuff like that. And then say on the turf, like say when you're on the football field, there's like a huge pipe circle thing right by the football field on the side. So say if somebody goes running out and they go fall, they can hit their head on that and get injured. So that's why I'm saying the football field and the track needs to be replaced, because look up, if you go up there and you go see the track and you go see the football field, you can tell that it's getting old. Or if you go sit on the bleachers, there's bees all over, the bleachers are getting old, they're rusting. So that's why we're saying that it's a need, it's not a want, it's a need.
It's a need, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say we really need this because, well, to a lot of athletes, we use the field, we use the track as like a second home to us. We wake up sometimes at 6 in the morning and we won't get home until 6 p.m. And it's getting dark outside, it's getting dark. It's better to have something we can respect, something we can take care of really well, than instead of having something that's torn down that we have to take care of. And if we keep on using it, it's just going to end up being like garbage almost. So if we can like replace it and take care of it, it'll help us in the future too, where it'll get more people to actually come see us play. It'll get more people to actually come and want to see us out in the fields when it's raining, when it's in terrible weather. We'll get a bigger show out for our games, for our things. It'll get our players more motivated to work harder. It'll get everybody in a happier mood, a better mood, because just seeing a sad field and playing in a sad field, you can do the best you can, but you can't make it look that pretty. So if you put in the work in the field, I think we should have the right field to be able to put in work. Because as an athlete, you know, those places are where you train, where you do everything you can to become a better person, whether it's in the court or whether it's around in real life. It could help our community expressing ourselves. It could help us with everything, because we can respect our equipment more if it's better. You know, you can walk around in raggedy shoes and not really care about it, but if you have a brand new pair, something you're gonna wanna take care of.
Take pride.
Yeah, take pride in our fields. We need to take pride in Española. And having messed up equipment isn't really gonna help us. Having a messed up field isn't really gonna be that prideful.
Thank you. And you can state your name for the record when you get your name.
Edgar Sanchez?
Edgar Sanchez, thank you.
For the record, I need to just kind of have some clarification here, because I'm here to support the track and cross country team. And I was told to be here for a reason to approval of the athletic football field and track project, but the attachments that you have up there don't reflect what you have on the agenda. Now I want to just be clear of what we're approving here. Are we approving bleachers and a press box, or are we approving the redo of the track field and the football field? Because those are totally different things, and I was under the assumption of one and not the other.
It's the entire project, correct? What the code does it show them?
The quote that you have for public, for my information as a taxpayer and as a parent of this public school, it doesn't have the quote for the redo of the track. It doesn't have the quote for the redo of the football field. So I want to know what you're saying. Well, all these kids showed up because I brought my daughter here to support something, and what you have up there does not support what I am here for.
President Lujan, Board of Education, I'd like to apologize. I do have the total project cost, and the reason I'm apologizing is that we have 2 work sessions to go over the amounts and work on amounts. And the total project cost is $1,545,543. Okay, that includes the football field and the track. Either way, like I said, I apologize. Everybody's at the work session. We have these discussions. The track itself is going to be about $590,000. Okay, and it has to be replaced. Either way, I was out at the track, and it's in disrepair. We can spend $100,000 repairing it, or we can just do it right. The problem is, if the intent is to put a track field, because we know it's also in poor shape, we're looking at I think it's about 1.3 million with the football field and the track, but you can't put the track first, because if you put the track first, and you go back and put the football field, you have heavy equipment driving on the track, and you stand a good chance to ruin it. So it has to be done in that sequence, the football field and the track.
To give you some information as a parent, I just felt like it was a bait and switch. You told me to be, my coach and my daughter told me it's track and field, and the information I got when I got here was not about the track and the football field. And that just gives me a bad feeling, especially because of everything that's gone on. So more information that I can have to support you guys
and you know,
is better for you. But
like I said, I apologize that we have 2 work sessions on this. This is not new to any of the board members. We've had 2 work sessions. It is, I get it. I can just apologize and do a better job getting the numbers, because I agree with you. It's not about these 2 projects. It's about the overall project, and I did not provide that information. Sorry.
Is that legal, or is that misleading, or is that legal?
Well,
I don't know if it's legal.
Well, Mr. Archuleta, if anything, we'll have a work session, a special session to give the exact numbers, to make sure that there's no question. But Mr. Lujan, may I just address a couple things?
Or what is the speaking?
Oh, good evening. My name is Amanda, and I'm a senior. And you guys should approve the renewal of the track and the field, because the amount of times that I have seen the gym being redone is incredible, and it's not the only sport at the school. There's wrestling, there's so many other sports. Basketball is not a priority on the city, and we need the track fixed. Just pointing to that. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Joseph Serrano. I'm also here for the football team. Honestly, we do need a new football field. If you guys walk out there, the north side of the football field, in the end zone, there's a big huge pothole.
and we don't know where it came from, so we do need a field. We've been needing a field for years. That field is full of potholes, sprinkler heads are sticking out of the field, and some of our boys could be tripped on. So we need a new football field, and I think it's fair enough for us to get one of those, because for me to stand up here, we do need one. And I've been with this school for so many years, and that football field is garbage. You guys go take a look out there, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, well, now one more comment, and then moving forward.
My name is Roland Garcia, I'm a parent. I brought my son here from Mesa Vista to pursue his dream of football. He's in 8th grade now, he played very well. We were in a 7-0 team last year. But in order to be competitive here in Española, if you tell me any other school that's worse than Española football field, you just name me one so I can be satisfied. You go to Esquidante, $1 million, everybody. We gotta be competitive, and these guys want to come to school here and have the damn football field that we need. I don't know if, as a student, you want to go where there is scholarships for sports, and we need to be there, and I mean we need to get it done quick, because the future is right here, guys, right here. This is where we're looking at, and I've been to their practices at the high school, and there's gnats. You can't even practice. There's gnats. If we do artificial turf, we don't have to do maintenance. We don't have to paint the field. We don't have to do numbers. We'll cut grass. You'll save up. But these kids want it, and I want it, and we need it done fast. This is, in order to bring kids here to play, people don't want to come play here. We need to have them a nice facility so they can come here and play. And that's all I gotta say.
Thank you.
I think it's clear that this isn't a want, this isn't a desire, this isn't something that, that we could do without. This is something that this district needs. I know we have a lot of needs, and I think we've done a good job trying to meet all those needs, but this is something that we need to move on, and move on quick. This is something that these students, deserve, and this community deserves. One thing though is I just want to make sure that it's done correctly, and I want to make sure that that these people, that they come here, that they know, what's on the agenda. So I'm not, I want to hear an explanation before I don't want to make a decision unless everybody knows what we're doing here.
President Board of Education, students, student body, I made a mistake, and I'm going to apologize to you. This evening, I was ready to recommend that we build you a field and build you a track, because I've been there. And you guys, I always say this, you are the best kids that I've been around, and you deserve the best. So what we'll do is we'll set up a special session next week, at which time I will provide the information that's being requested, because it would be inappropriate of me to do these things that we'll be accused of doing, mislead the public, not tell them the truth. We've had 2 work sessions to discuss this. This Board of Education is well aware they've been given handouts, but that's not the issue. The public hasn't been given handouts. The public isn't aware. So if I'm asking your forgiveness, because like I said, I did let you down, but by next Wednesday or Thursday, I will bring it back to the table, bring it back to the board for approval for a football field and track. Is that fair? I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I did make a mistake, but I assure you that we will be meeting next week to go over this and provide the public all the information they need, so that we don't have questions on how much it's going to cost. We'll have plenty of time to review it. And if you want to come back next week when we have that special session, I welcome you back to see the action taken by the board.
Excuse me, Mr. Martinez, did we ever get other bids beside that one in particular? Because that's really what's concerning to me, as well as, getting other bids, seeing who could give us the best price for what we're getting, and then if we have leftover monies to put them into the lockers and other issues that we were discussing. That has been one of my concerns.
President Lujan, Board Member Salazar, there's a couple of things that need to be considered. The first is, if we go out for the bid process, the design process, these kids here aren't gonna be able to use the facilities. I can guarantee that. You're looking at a year and a half. But someone will graduate. They won't use them. Some of these kids won't use them. But if we go through CES, which is pre-procured, some of these kids may be running on a track. They may be not. The weather has a lot to do with it. There's a lot of things beyond our control. So our intent, or my intent, I don't know what the board's intent, but my intent is to get these children the best possible facility that I can get them, and the timeliness of it matters to me, because we have seniors that have played in bad facilities for 4 years. How much longer do they have to wait? At least when they walk out here, they can be proud and say, we're here, we got it done, it was done fast, and you know what? When you go through CS, that's the result. You don't have to go out for a design, you don't have to go out for engineering, architecture. You basically go there with a company that are experts at building fields, and it's done.
And not only that, Mr. Martinez, but this isn't a plane ticket or Amazon where you can, a lot of people do this. This is something that's very, very unique. And if you look at the report folder and the expertise that these people have, they've knocked out clearly almost all the fields, you know, all the most recent fields. So, you know, this company's been vetted by CES. You know, the price has been vetted by the state, so really there's no need to go out there, because, you know, the state's looking at that and understands what the market is for these products when they vet them through this CES contract. So there's no money that's going to be saved. All that's going to be wasted is time.
I agree. So your recommendation is to table it? Go ahead.
And President Lujan, Board of Education, I do have some points of clarification. As far as the tables that were put together, Mr. Cordova, you were present. The company put the tables together. We anchored them. So there's the first question, and the answer to the first question. The second is, I did not receive any emails from Mr. Archuleta regarding this project. I did receive an email from him on August 13th at 5:20 p.m. asking me to look into the cleanliness of the bleachers. At 7:20, I communicated that to the administrator, and at 10:50, I sent Mr. Archuleta an email back telling him that this issue has been addressed. So just a point of clarification that his emails are not being ignored, he's being responded to, and that's the way we do business in this district.
That's not the truth. You responded to 2 emails, and I sent you 20 emails.
And I can show anybody that wants to see it, I have it right here.
We'll allow, just allow one more comment for this, and we'll make the recommendation and move forward.
My name is Juanita Manzanares. I'm a volunteer parent that lives in help to the football team. Before next week's meeting, I would like for all of you guys to go to the field and see all the problems that we do have. If you guys don't think these kids deserve it, they really do deserve it. There is no place to get water up there. There's nowhere, if the water does come out, the water's hot. I mean, I go every day and I provide them with ice water. I try to do my best. These kids work hard from the time they get there to the time they leave. From the summer to the winters, they do their best. You go to every field, and every kid has a nice field everywhere you go. And when they come to our field, it's sad and pathetic. We've needed one for years. And if I could, but that, at least I could say is go and look and see what we have. If you want to see the locker rooms, you want to go see all that stuff, the whole school needs a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on. But I think these kids really have worked hard and they really do need a field. But that's all I can say for now. Like I say, as a parent, I see all this stuff every single day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's also important to point out, Mr. President, not only do they work hard in the field, but they work hard in the classroom. That's even more so than we bring this back as soon as possible. You know, we have a lot of, you know, anxious students that saw this dream and it's right there in front of them. So I want to make sure we do our part to fulfill it. So early next week if possible, so we
Mr.
can.
Martinez, before sorry, Mr. Opresky's cutting you off, just so we can move forward. Again, sorry to the kids that we had a lot of more discussion, a lot of good feedback and bad feedback about it. Again, it was a mistake on the agenda. I'd rather clarify it and make sure that we're moving forward. So with that, Mr. Martinez, I'm going to ask for your recommendation for this particular issue and see where we go with it from here.
President Lujan, Board of Education, I recommend we table this till a special meeting next week, at which time the public will be provided information, the questioning, and we can move forward with the project.
Thank you. We heard the recommendation to table this, have a motion to table.
All move.
I will second.
There's a motion and a second. I need to do a roll call vote.
Yes. Mr. Ruben Archuleta?
Yes.
Ms. Yolanda M. Salazar?
Yes.
Ms. Annabelle Armaguet?
Yes.
Mr. Lucas Fresquez?
Yes.
And Mr. Pablo Lujan?
Yes. So just to move forward, and ladies and gentlemen, people here for this particular project, Mr. Martinez, I'm recommending that we have a special work session next Monday. Will that give you enough time, the staff, to give us all accurate numbers, give us all the information presented all at once? We'll have a good thorough discussion on it and actually vote on it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
how many work sessions do we have to get this right? We're wasting taxpayers' money.
I don't think it's,
We have to do it, that's a simple deal, I can take that up and put a football field, $2 million. It's just-
Well, actually, one work session, there's only 3 of us, so that's the
Exactly.
second one.
so,
Three of us worked on it, we heard a lot more than you did.
Yeah, so
Left early.
maybe if you say it's not a work session, it's a meeting.
What happens when you go to meetings?
Yeah, okay. That's
thank you. We just have more, thank you. Approval. Excuse me, we're gonna get back to order. We're gonna get back to order. We have another agenda item on the. Mr. Martinez, you have a letter C. Approval for purpose of activity.
President Ron, before you have a quote for the purchase of the activity bus.
Thank you, students, parents.
Elected officials having a cat fight at the out of the room. This is a good show. I can't believe it. Elected officials. That's crazy. It is embarrassing. And it's on TV.
Thank you. Moving forward, Mr. Martinez, under action items, approval to purchase school activity bus. What's your recommendation? Board members, do you have any reason to discuss, have it discussed? Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Can you give your recommendation?
President Lujan, Board of Education, recommend approval to purchase the school activity bus.
I'll move the recommendation. Do I have a motion? Mr. Fresco's motion. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Alvar seconds that motion. All, I need to do a roll call
Yes. Mr. Ruben Archuleta?
vote. Abstain.
Ms. Yolanda M. Salazar? Abstain. Ms. Annabelle Armaguet?
Yes.
Mr. Lucas Fresquez?
Yes.
And Mr. Pablo Lujan?
Yes. And I want to clarify my vote. For the record, I think that we had a thorough discussion with Ms. Quintana on transportation, on the importance of trying to get a new transportation bus due to the fact of the amount of miles that are being placed on them. One, two, the amount that we're spending on repairs of these buses. We had a major repair last year. We had another major repair this year that was approved by the board. We only have 2 buses that are transporting all athletics, or majority of our athletics at the high school and the junior high. Some, I think, the junior high and all sports. So I think this is a dire need for the district as the buses are used to transport these kids from across the state to compete in in all our sports activities and other activities. So I think it's a desperate need for this district. With that, that's why we voted yes. Thank you. Moving on to other action items that are D, approval to extend the October 1st deadline to October 15th for teachers to reach up as per NMPD.
President Lujan, Board of Education, I'd like to read this communication from NMPD Matthew Montano, so that it really makes sense of what we're doing. It states, as we approach October, I want to remind districts in charge of the October 15th deadline for advancement. All teachers wishing to advance with the license issue date of July 1st, 2016 must have their NMT advancement postmarked prior to October 15th. For those individuals intending on advancing using the PDD, they must have submitted their PDD into the vision statement, and PDD is professional development dossier, into the vision link system prior to October 15th. We have been contacted by some districts and charters about their local deadline on October 1st. Our district has a deadline on October 1st. The licensure bureaus process these applications as they come in. In cases where they are not supporting documents, teachers will be contacted to provide them. For those districts and charters that have an October 1st deadline in local policy, it is your discretion to work with your governing bodies to relax the local policy regarding this timeline. We ask that you do not have office staff or teachers requesting that the application be expedited. We are prioritizing these applications, but we will only process on a first come, first served basis. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me. So with that in mind, what it is when a teacher levels up, they will receive more pay. In our district, they have to do it by October 1st or that request is denied. PED is basically saying, mathematics from PED is basically saying that it's at your latitude to lax that policy on October 1st, into October 15th, because they've extended the deadline. And if they extend the deadline, the teacher levels up, and we hold them accountable for that October 1st date, and they do it on the 13th, they will not receive compensation for leveling up as per district policy. So what I'm asking is that the board take that into consideration, and let's look at the PD guidance and do anything to help our teachers. And if you're ready for the recommendation, unless there are any questions, I'd like to provide it for you.
Thank you. Have you recommended, any questions, Mr. Martinez? Thank you. There's no questions. What's your recommendation?
President Mahan, Board of Education, recommend approval to extend the October 1st deadline to October 15th for teachers to level up as per NMPD guidance.
Thank you. We read the recommendation of the superintendent. Do I have a motion to approve? Mr. Fresca's motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you. Can you do a roll call vote?
Yes. Mr. Ruben Archuleta?
Yes.
Ms. Yolanda M. Salazar?
Yes.
Ms. Annabelle Marget? Yes. Mr. Lucas Vazquez?
Yes.
Mr. Pablo Lujan?
Yes. Thank you. Under announcements, we have a work session October 10th at 6 p.m. here at Carlos Evie Middle School. We have regular board meeting October 19th, 2016, Carlos Evie Middle School at 5:30. Mr. Martinez, the reason you want to executive session.
Excuse me, I have an announcement to make before we do that. Now that we're talking about attending meetings, I won't be attending the October 19th meeting. I will be traveling to Madagascar on a medical mission, and I will be there for about 2 weeks. So I'm asking all of you for prayers. There's going to be about 20 of us medical providers going out to Madagascar. And so we're going to be treating the poorest of the poor. We'll probably be seeing about 200 children and adults during the time, 208. I was selected to go and assist in surgery, so we're going to be probably performing some of the most unique surgeries there at the hospital. So again, just ask for your prayers for our team, our medical team. And that's the reason why I won't be here at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Martinez, do you want to do a few sessions?
No, sir.
Thank you. No motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
I will second.
Thanks. There's a motion and a second. Do I have a motion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Nay. Motion carries. I leave it is 6:44.
But you said that they had to do the football field first on the lady, he said that they didn't, and you guys answered that point of question, no comment? I mean, it was that, I mean, you answered a point of question. And what are the modifications? No comment? Modifications? There's a little bit of positive. 18, that's positive.